for entertainment purposes only. And if you want true legal advice, contact your own lawyer.
Hey, there's celebrity couples who are basically divorcing. The biggest kind of shocker as of September 25th was Denise was Governor Cuomo out of New York. After 14 years of marriage, they're moving on.
Yeah, and it seems to be amicable. He has children from another marriage. The two of them is Sandra Lee is who he's married to. The two of them have been separated, and they're going through a no-fault type of a divorce, it appears, in New York. And they were married for 14 years. And they've even kept up to where the stepmom, Miss Lee, has said, I'm going to maintain my relationship with my stepdaughters. And Governor Cuomo says, that's great. I agree, because they have close relationships with Miss Lee. And so, anyway,
14 years, that's a lot of marriage equity, isn't it, Denise?
That's a long time. Yeah. That's a long time. Even California's standard is presumptively a long-term marriage after 10 years. That seems short to other people and in other states. They all have their different standards. But 14 years is a long time, especially for a second marriage. And then the couple have listed their 6-bedroom estate, which they nicknamed Lily Pond. So they've already listed it. It looks like they already have plans to divide their assets, and it looks like it's going to be an amicable divorce. I hope so.
Well, you see enough. That's a rare situation, or are divorces generally amicable?
Yes and no. The ones that are truly amicable, they can get through the divorce process through mediation or collaborative type law settings where they don't ever see the inside of the courtroom. And by far, that's probably the number one way people go through a divorce, especially if they're on the same page with regard to the division of assets and the children. If they have agreements on those two, it rarely ever becomes highly contested.
Okay.
So I would say that the vast majority are uncontested, but of course, as an attorney, I see a lot that are contested because I'm hired sometimes to be, a litigation attorney.
Which is no fun, by the way. I'm sure emotions get pretty raw in those circumstances, don't they?
They can. I always say to my clients, treat it like a business decision, because I try to get them to back out of the emotional, I have to prove my point, and see if there's a point where they can pull back and just kind of look at it objectively. Because if I can get them to look at it objectively and make business decisions, then it takes the tension out of the room. Sometimes you have to get the parties together and let them have a discussion so they can talk about the elephant in the room, or they can talk about what the other person did that just made them want to leave the marriage.
What's really bugging them.
Yeah, and if you have, in that case, it's kind of like a cathartic moment. And usually when you have that breakthrough, the parties then are ready to take care and get it done. Sometimes that breakthrough leads to a breakdown, and you have to step away for a while and then come back, and then you're ready to do it. Some people just don't emotionally resolve as quickly as other people do, and you got to see and know your clients well enough to see the opportunities when they're ready.
Sure. Because
that becomes very important as well.
Other divorces. What else? Who else is getting divorced? We got Miley Cyrus, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus. It's kind of funny because it's not funny, but she's been hanging out with Brody Jenner.
Okay.
Oh, not Brody Jenner. Miley Cyrus is getting divorced from Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah.
And she has been seeing and dating a girl.
Yeah. Caitlyn Carter?
There you go.
Caitlyn Carter, yeah.
Caitlyn Carter is married to Brody Jenner.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
We've got 2 divorces, and both the women in the divorces started dating each other.
Okay.
So it was kind of interesting, and now the 2 women, Miley Cyrus and Caitlyn Carter, have now said we're still friends, but we're no longer partners.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, you know what? All I got to say is if you have a chart at home, would you get your chart out and just make sure you got this going down with Miley Cyrus? It'll be a chart, a flow chart can help you understand these divorces.
All of the connecting lines.
Yeah, all the connecting lines. Kenya Moore and Mark Daly, that's the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Star and her husband are going to split. That's another one.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that one. You know, I watch The Housewives, many of them. Quite honestly, it's my drama. You know, I like to watch it. It's like my daytime soap opera.
Your guilty pleasure, as it were.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. I have to say that. But with regard to Kenya, she just really had her female clock ticking and wanted to have a baby so bad
Yeah, right.
that I think she kind of jumped into this marriage
Quickly.
and she quite honestly was very late to have a child, so it is kind of a miracle in a way that she did have a child with Mark.
Blink 182 is actually a band that I like. Apparently, the husband, after 18 years, Tom and Jennifer DeLong are getting a divorce. He's 18 years of marriage. Blink 182's lead singer. We can go on and on and on.
At least it's not Nickelback, Fred.
Yeah, but here's the question: Sarah and Todd Palin. I didn't know they're getting a divorce. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. Well, anyway, that's the sad part of Radio Law Talk. We're going to be back and talk more about Divorce Saturday.
Stay tuned. We have more Radio Law Talk coming up right here on your favorite radio station and, of course, live at radiolawtalk.com.
Radio Law Talk. I like that show.
Time to get back to Radio Law Talk on radiolawtalk.com and on your favorite radio station.
We're early.
All right, we're back. We're back here hanging out a little bit early. I don't know if we're a little bit early. We don't watch our clock very well. But here's the other interesting thing we're talking about of these divorces. The divorces that we're discussing are quite interesting. And they're interesting because there's the list, Denise, of divorces for 2019 are just, we have a stack of papers about every single one of them. And I don't want to get into them in detail because I didn't know Lady Gaga is getting divorced. And
Well, I don't think she is. They have in this people that aren't married,
Oh,
which is kind of strange.
Split. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They just split. They were an item. I mean, look at Ivana Trump and Rossano Rubicondi. I mean, they're getting divorced, and I didn't even know they were married.
Well, at least this is according to what? Okay, what is this according to? This is a list of the latest divorces from. I don't even remember what there's a number of sources that we got this from. This wasn't just one source, but anyway, there's sources out there that talk about the different ones. Anyway, let's move on because this is the most interesting one you and I discussed earlier. And again, it's Divorce Saturday. Unfortunately, we don't want you to get divorced, but Divorce Saturday is Britain has the first official or unofficial divorce holiday. Tell me about this divorce holiday. What's going on?
Well, what does people, they took polls and they found out that people that get divorced kind of go through a little depression and they get upset and don't really know how to re-enter singlehood life, right? So what they did was they created the survey. I'm sure it was a travel survey or something.
Yeah, it was
to
some
that
travel
effect,
agency.
right? Virgin Holidays has become the first major tour operator to offer holidays exclusively for marriages that have ended. And what that means is that they call it a divorce holiday. And right after the divorce is final, they're offering travel for 4 people to a destination so they can celebrate the end of the marriage. And so that person who's now newly single gets to invite 3 of their friends and reconnect with their friends.
I got it. I think I know the answer to this, Denise. All the divorced couples, they should bring their divorced spouses and they all get together and then they can intermingle and get married to one of the other divorced spouses.
Well, that could happen. That could totally happen.
Don't you think that's a good idea, Cal?
I do. I think I saw somewhere that people on Valentine's Day, divorced people send each other snarky divorce cards. Is that true? Like kind of mean?
Well, my husband's ex had...
Here we go.
Yeah, you got to hear this, too, because it's surprising. My husband's ex had our oldest son, which is my stepson, deliver to my husband a big, huge cookie in the heart shape that said, "Be my Valentine."
Ooh.
Yeah, that was after we were married.
Mm.
That was, and she didn't expect me to be there. It put our
That
son
was
in a bad place.
That was so nice.
It was subtle. My goodness. What is
Oh, Denise is the
Oh,
ex.
my word.
That's a good.
How did that fly, Denise?
Well, I quickly cut that heart in half.
Oh, and you ate
And,
half of it.
Well, everybody had a piece in the room.
Have a piece of the beating heart.
Hey, why don't you just text and say, "Hey, thanks for the cookie. It was good, man. That was awesome." Oh, I guess that's a good idea. Now people are going to use that.
I
From now
like
on.
it.
Well, why don't you
Wow.
just say do the same thing, but have like a little jagged thing down the middle?
That's what I'm
Be
thinking.
my
Just-
Valentine, like a little cut down the middle.
Thanks for being my ex-Valentine.
yeah,
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, we should start that business.
You know what? The sad thing in Britain now, they're pretty close to us. It's like 1 out of every 2 marriages end in a divorce, and 3 out of every 3 in 10 divorces, divorcees thought that this holiday would help them deal with the breakup, and it's been pretty well received. And I do remember there was a point in my life, and probably when I was in my late 30s, early 40s, where if my friends were getting divorced, some of them would have a divorce party, literally. And you'd go and you'd celebrate with them and you reconnect with them, because sometimes when you have a spouse, your friends get pushed aside.
Well, they do, because a lot of times if the spouses don't get along with, let's say there's a couple, and the husbands don't get along with each other, but the girls, they were best friends growing up, they're not going to get together very often. And so what this survey showed is there's a lot of friendships that have been, basically severed because of marriages.
Yeah.
And those old friends they don't reconnect to. Or let's say the old girlfriend of yours, Denise, is divorced, but they're leading a kind of a different life, and you're married, and it's just not quite as
Not in the same circles.
Yeah, not in the same circles. And so I guess that what they're doing here is, okay, now time to reconnect. In the same old circles you had. They found that 3 out of 10, 3 in 10 divorces through a holiday, thought a holiday away would help them deal with the breakup. That's the one thing this survey of this company that you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
They also found that 3 in 5 divorced adults admit to losing touch with their friends while they were married. So they're trying to get them to get back in touch and reestablish and have this big event, and this one's in Las Vegas, and so I think it's a great idea, but it's a publicity stunt. But hey, we're talking about it on Radio Law Talk all over the country, so there you go. They're trying to get a divorce holiday, and they're hoping that this thing takes hold.
And Carnival, I think it was Carnival Cruises, some other travel company started a single parent holiday in 2017. And that's where, if you're a single parent, you could take your child and go on a holiday and have fun with other single parents, and your kids can all play together.
Well, I think what we're going to start here is a single dad with kiddies holiday. So I think that's, if you have kiddies and you're a single dad, I think there's a special holiday for you, and then you can meet other ladies that are single that have kiddies too.
Todd has a kitty.
Yeah, Todd's not here. He can't stick up for his kiddies.
He can't stick up for it.
Our only single co-host who's not here shooting a commercial apparently.
Todd
So
has a kitty.
this last week, I was actually away, and I was with my girlfriends. My husband lets me hang out with my girlfriends.
That's
and
good.
It was really fun. We went to a kind of a spa, hot springs place. And then I also was on Kevin Wall's show. Do you know who Kevin Wall is?
Tell me.
Kevin Wall, he has a talk show. I think it's called Live and Now.
Okay.
And he's syndicated. He's all over the place. I think he's out of Reno or Las Vegas. I can't remember, but he's out of Nevada. And he asked me to come on the show. And then he asked me, and he grilled me pretty hard. Guys, he's on KBET, KBET. That's in Reno.
KNR too, I think
Yeah,
he's on.
and he's got
KNR.
podcasts. If you look up Kevin Wall, you're going to see that he's got podcasts and all that stuff. But he grilled me hard on impeachment, you guys. He didn't talk to me about divorce.
Yeah.
He talked
grilled
to
you.
me about impeachment, and I think I passed the test.
Well, good job. Thank you.
Go to the website, radiolawtalk.com. That's radiolawtalk.com.